exactly was hit by the plane?
Sure. 3 transmission lines and a transmission tower were impacted. It is not clear, and I don't want to speculate with what hit first, either the transmission lines or the transmission tower. Of course, we'll remain on scene, and we'll be cooperating and assisting all the agencies as they conduct their investigation into this matter.
NTSB representative.
Hold on, I'm sorry.
How confident are you that you can get power restored before nightfall?
We're working just as quickly and safely as possible. This is a major disruption. When 3 transmission lines go down, it takes a lot of work. As I said, our crews are working Herculean efforts. They're doing a great job, and they're working just as quickly and safely as possible to get the lights back on.
Question for NTSB, if we can bring them up.
What we know at this point is that the lines and the towers were brought down. We're not clear whether the plane hit the tower or the NTSB might have something to say on that.
If you don't mind just getting up to the mic.
Yes, sir.
I know it's preliminary, but can you say, did the pilot take any type of action preventing radar tragedy?
Right now, we don't know. We're in the process of trying to obtain any radar data or any witnesses or anything like that that might suggest the actions or the sequence of events from the time that they took off to the time of the accident. So it's still preliminary. We're still trying to gather the facts.
Can you address, excuse me, can you when the victims' names will be released?
That's going to be a question for local law enforcement.
It was foggy this morning. Obviously, that's something you will look at.
Yes, we are looking into the weather conditions at the time of the accident. I can tell you about an hour before the accident, the reporting station at the airport was reporting fog, visibility at 8th mile, obscured ceiling at about 100 feet above ground level.
Can you help us understand what a pilot, exactly, what is the pilot supposed to do when you can't see? Why would you take off, and what is he supposed to do?
Look that way.
From there, what the pilot is supposed to do at the time of takeoff, that would be a question for the FAA. They're the ones that enforce the regulations regarding aviation. At this point, all I can say is that the aircraft, or the pilot, did file an IFR flight plan, which allows them to fly under instrument meteorological conditions, and it was active at the time of the accident. Oh, sorry.
Can you tell us if the pilot was a commercial pilot or did he work for the corporation?
I'm still trying to obtain that information. Like I said, I just got here at about 3:30, so I got a lot of information coming in right now, and I should have more information tomorrow regarding the pilot and a little more of the history of the pilot. Most likely, you can contact our public affairs office tomorrow morning. I'm going to be talking to our public affairs office throughout the day tomorrow to kind of get a location and time frame of when we'll do it. The significance of the instrumentation, significance of the instrumentation, it allows basically the pilot to tell the attitude of the aircraft. Is it upright? Is it in a turn? Engine and monitoring equipment. We're going to be analyzing what was the airplane equipped with and so forth. So it is part of our investigation. It's still way too early in the investigation to tell what was being indicated.
Is the turn into the bay? The cables are on the opposite side.
That I don't know yet. It is part of the investigation. I will be looking into that section, the departure procedures from Palo Alto Airport. We will be working with airport officials and FAA officials to look at their procedures and to identify anything. Ultimately, it will reside with the pilot in command of the aircraft to decide to take off or not to take off. And we are looking into, I got to review tower transmissions to see exactly the radio communication between the control tower and the pilot to verify what was said prior to takeoff.
So right now it's not
everybody, we have a lot of work to do. It's just going to be about 2 or 3 more questions, okay?
Under IFR rules, a pilot can take off. IFR rules allow pilots to take off in zero visibility?
That would be a question for the FAA. But to my understanding, under Part 91, Code of Federal Regulations, Part 91, you can take off with limited visibility.
You can. One question that's not exactly clear is whether the plane hit the transmission line or a transmission tower. Do you know that yet in your investigation?
I do not know that yet. I have taken a brief look at the accident site. I've accounted for all major structural components of the airplane, but exactly what hit what at what time frame in the accident, I've yet to determine that. And that's going to be that's part of our on-scene investigation.
Ruled out at all whether it's mechanical
Right now, it's still too early investigation to tell.
When will you start removing pieces of the fuselage and the plane from the scene?
I'm currently expecting a wreckage recovery crew to be here tomorrow afternoon to start removing the aircraft from the neighborhood, and it'll be transported to a secure location near Sacramento, California, and my team will reconvene at a later date to methodically go through the wreckage. It's going to be done. I would expect that will be done in the next month. So.
Do you know if this plane has specific problems?
You know, right now I'm focusing on this aircraft accident. As far as this aircraft, does it have previous problems or not? I am not sure. It will be looked into part of our investigation, but right now my focus is on this, and that's actually the last question. So.
Accidents out of this airport?
That I don't know. You can get a lot of research questions if you go to ntsb.gov. We have a database of all accidents spanning from like 1962 available, and you can actually conduct your own search on the accident aircraft or the make model Cessna 310R on there.
What's
Okay.
your title?